And a lot of people negate these areas. This is the first thing you need to do. If God has promised you and you've received a prophetic word that increase is coming to your business, this is what you need to do. This is how you prepare. Now, guys, I want to share with you guys 2 principles that are so important and necessary for the next phase that God is going to bring your business. I believe that there's a great increase and great harvest coming by the grace of God. I did a program in April earlier on in the year called God's Growth Formula. And God's Growth Formula saw multiple people blessed and their businesses grew significantly. I had some of my students who doubled their income in under a month. And I want to share just some of these principles with you now. The first principle I want to share is called strengthening your net. What does that mean? It means developing your infrastructure. Before God brings more increase, that means more contracts, more tenders, more customers, more clients. You need to strengthen your net. Can you facilitate the increase? Because if God brings the increase and you haven't strengthened your net, what happens? The net rips. And if the net rips, it means that all of the fishes that you had caught start to fall through the net. And this is what's necessary, because there are times where the Lord will ask you, even when you're not ready, to cast down your net. But the question is, how much from that net can you actually bring onto your boat? How much from that net can you actually bring onto the seashore? So if God brings you more increase with your customers, how many can you retain? If God's going to bring you more customers and more business, does your call rate drop? Does your response rate drop? Does your customer service decline? All of those things are going to affect the longevity of your business, because it means even though you made more money that month, over the next few years, your business will not be around because you don't satisfy customer needs, you don't meet their demands, you don't fulfill orders on time. And a lot of people negate these areas. This is the first thing you need to do. If God has promised you and you've received a prophetic word that increase is coming to your business, this is what you need to do. This is how you prepare. Strengthen the net. That's the first thing. You have to make sure, train whoever you need to train within your staff. The person that's an appointment setter, get them to get even better at appointment setting, teach them marketing. The person that does sales and on the front end of the business, they close the deals, teach them how to become better, how to understand the psychology behind marketing and sales, how to close better, see their conversion rate. Strengthen your net. So you're going to have to go down and do a debrief. Cut off the excesses of anybody who isn't necessary within your business. The first thing, strengthen your net. The second thing you need to do is you need to learn how to publish your word around Jerusalem. You need to learn how to spread across Jericho. In other words, understand how you're going to reach your market better. Do intricate work and proper groundwork to understand your market. How can we spread this business abroad? What's the most effective way of communicating to our ideal audience? The way I communicate to my ideal audience is how can you communicate to your audience? And that's because our audiences are different. So how I reach my direct audience isn't how you reach yours. For some people, their audience is found in football stadiums. Maybe they have a sports brand or a leisure brand. For some people, they're a personal trainer. Their ideal clientele is found in the gym. Now, how can we be distinct? And how can we be attention grabbing? Third strategy you need to do. Third thing. I said I was going to give you 2. Let me give you 3. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You need to thoroughly examine what's working and what hasn't worked. What's working, how can we increase it? How can we amplify it? Because if it's not broken, it doesn't need to be replaced. A lot of people have a hard time marketing because they're always trying to find something new. There's a sportswear brand in the UK called JD Sports. Something so cool about JD Sports is that they release a Christmas advert every year. And the Christmas advert that JD Sports release every year, it doesn't change drastically. I mean, for that year, anyways. For that year, maybe they'll get the hottest rapper, the hottest artist, the hottest, football player, athletes, and they'll put them within that advert. They don't make 20 of the adverts for that month, 50 of their adverts. They might release new merch, maybe there's a new tracksuit, and so they'll publish and post that. But they don't keep on changing the concept. Ask yourself this question. Within your marketplace, what do you want to be known for? Who should we know you as? These are important questions. And the fourth and final key, which is very important for you to remember, expand your vision. Think long term. You'll be surprised at how many Christian businesses God hasn't increased. And the reason he hasn't increased them is because he can't endorse your vision. It's too small. This is a very important key. Please understand that more staff, more customers means more accountability and more responsibility. The staff, you're accountable to feed someone's mother and father, pay them so that they can feed their children. You're responsible to make sure that they're trained and equipped so that they can advance in their career, in their occupation. That the time they spend in your business is time well invested. It's not time wasted. And you give them transferable skills that will set them up in life. That's the integral thing. That's the moral approach to have. So your vision can't be small and narrow. Number two, if your vision is too small, then your vision has a time limit. Okay, if the vision for your business is only to make 100,000 and everything you have planned for your business is for 100,000, well, you're going to reach the 100,000, then what? The business dies. 50,000, you're going to reach 50,000. I've noticed that believers often clap their hands and celebrate men that have been in ministry for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and 50 years, which is great. God bless them. But we never actually take time to look at the maturity of someone who can have a vision, nurture that vision, and run with that vision for a very long time. I'm talking about in the context of a business. What does it take for a man to have one business that's been standing for 20, 30 years, and it's a value-adding system, a legacy that feeds 2-3 generations after him? That is a man that I also esteem. Because you started 5 businesses on Instagram in 1 year. None of them are standing till now. You started 5. Then here's someone who has one vision. They nurture the vision. They father the company until that company goes on to become an economic solution. Christians always ask, how do we get a seat at the king's table? Number one, you have to be able to answer a question that the king is asking. 60% of the UK's wealth is in real estate. Can you answer his question in property? Does your business contribute to your local economy? If your business wasn't in Coventry, if your business wasn't in London, if your business wasn't in Birmingham, would it have any impact or any change to society? I can tell you right now, if Amazon shut down, it would be very different for the infrastructure of a lot of countries in terms of logistics and delivery and fulfillment of orders. It will be very different. I mean, same-day delivery, they changed the game. If Apple shut down and we all had to use those ugly Android emojis, it would be a nightmare. It would be terrible. So how valuable and how substantial is your business going to be in our generation in 10 years and 20 years? If you can't think of a bigger vision, it's too small for God to endorse. The concept is in Deuteronomy. You're going to lend to nations and borrow from none. If your plan is to create a company that only gives you an extra £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month, £3,000 a month, then you're thinking too small. There's a young man watching me. There's a young woman watching me. And they're saying, I want to start investing in business, but they haven't made that start yet. They're not married, they don't have children, but they believe they're too busy with university. I can guarantee you now, if you can't find the time now, you won't find it ever. Because the time will come where you're a mother, you're a father, you're a husband, you're also a son. Maybe you go on to do the full-time work of God. And if you can't find the time now, how will you find it then? So your problem isn't time. Your problem is priority. Have you noticed that most of the times when God speaks to us, it's like a moment, like, oh, I heard that all along. That's the exact same thing with business. You know what you need to do, or you know what you should be doing, which is starting and learning, but you just don't do it. Break this out of your mind. Don't place institutional education on a big pedestal and then demonize sixth form as high value. But then when it comes to freelance, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we don't believe we need adequate mentoring and training in it. That's pride and that's ego. So you're going to get employed by an entrepreneur. You're going to get employed by a freelancer. But to be in their position, you don't believe you need any training. You can't be talking about starting a multiple 8-figure, 9-figure real estate company and you've never listened to a podcast or an episode from a multimillionaire in real estate. You can't talk about changing your local government without identifying any of their financial needs, what the market is missing. You see, the issue is a lot of people start business, and because they start with the mentality of just feeding themselves, they stay with that mentality for the rest of their business. It was made for your survival. So now it only brings you enough money for your survival. And now you're thinking, why can't it make 10,000 a month? Because it was made for your survival. Your survival is only £1,000 a month. That's why your customers are so little. That's why your prices are so little. And what you tolerate when you introduce yourself in the marketplace will dominate you later. Don't be scared to be different. Don't be scared to look different. Don't be scared to charge what other people aren't charging. Don't be scared. If you know your product and your service is that good in integrity and you can deliver on your promises, don't be scared to make the bolder claims because you know what you're capable of. I love something that Alex Hormozy says. He says, under promise, over deliver. That's a very good standard to have in business. And if you can uphold that, you'll see God bringing great increase and exponential growth to your company. So I gave you 4 keys, but the 2 main ones I want you to remember is number 1, strengthen your net. Something is coming to your business. I can tell you this. Something great is coming to your business. And number 2, increase the size of your vision. Number 2, increase the size of your vision. Enlarge your vision. Think bigger. It doesn't cost you to dream. I can tell you, as heaven is higher than your thoughts, so are his thoughts compared to your thoughts. As heaven is higher than the earth, so are his thoughts compared to your thoughts. And so are his ways compared to your ways. Another thing that I'd encourage you to do is start to identify the leaders within your company and value them. Treat them well. Bring them close. There are some people that are in your company, they treat it like it's their own. They take every scar and every wound that you suffer personally. Those are very good people. Treat them well. Though you should treat all your customers well, all your staff well. Treat those people very well. And start to give them more understanding as to how they can better their craft. Because on a rainy day, they're the people that will stand. Get your business to the point whereby if you're not there for 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, the company doesn't suffer. You still turn over the same numbers and more. And also as well, you need to allow space for innovation. See, this is the mistake that Nokia made. Nokia got so comfortable, BlackBerry got comfortable. And because they were dominating the market, they didn't make room for innovation. So what did Apple do? Apple innovated. They made touchscreens. So BlackBerry and Nokia tried it, but their system wasn't as efficient as iOS. Their touchscreen was laggy. Their apps weren't as good as developed. I can tell you the same thing with Apple. That a time will come where if they run out of innovation and they don't bring something which is more jaw-dropping, outstanding, then there will be a bigger competitor. There will be a bigger force that will take the market. People are looking for convenience. Make your business resourceful and convenient. Does it better the lives of people? Does it make their day-to-day outgoings and errands easier to run? Does it bring efficiency? If you can follow these principles that I've shared with you, you're going to be amazed at what God does. Thank you all so much for joining. Can't wait to see you again soon. Click the link below, subscribe. I have plenty more great talks, sessions planned with you guys, and also as well, great guests that will be coming along and joining us. Shalom.